2, 1, go.
Dude, it like recorded. It started recording right as you said 2.
No,
I didn't even click it.
It's fine. We're good. We're good. It'll all get edited out.
Sweet.
Gotta let it rock for a second. Cheers, brother. Let's get it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Episode 2.
Episode 2.
Episode 2. You were number 1 on the list, but
I was,
you know
but
you were busy.
Yeah,
you were busy.
I was
It's
busy.
understandable.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Let's Talk About It, the number 1 variety show in the greater Harrisburg, PA area. Only because I don't know if there is actually anything else. So
Yeah,
we're number 1
We're
as of
number
right
1
now.
because we're the only one.
Exactly. Exactly. Shout out to the YouTube viewership. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Hey, roast me. Roast my colleague here. Feel free.
Oh, dude, so roast me. Please roast me.
For sure.
Roast
For
me,
sure.
baby.
So,
Fucking rotisserie chicken and shit.
ladies and gentlemen, sitting here beside me is a man.
Wait.
I would say.
Yep, man.
I would say he is a different class of human. He is an enigma. He is a walking alien some days. Some days he's actually normal. But I'm glad to call him my friend. And
I would like to meet me on those days.
ladies and gentlemen, Austin Hartman.
Yep. Alright, so first thing is first.
Oh, you just want to dive right up into it. All right, let's get it.
What else are we going to do?
I mean, thought you were,
Well,
love me up a little bit
we could
first.
sit here and jack off in front of the camera, but I mean, we can't upload that to YouTube.
Right. Oh man, not gonna lie, it was a rough night. I had to upload stuff for last episode, so it is
How
what
do you
it is.
think I feel? I did work it. Are we allowed to name drop in this?
Well, we can name drop people, not companies.
Can't name drop companies? Okay.
We work at he works at one of the biggest companies on the planet, if not the biggest company on the planet.
Yeah, they just South Park just did an episode on that.
Yeah. Did you watch that? Was it funny?
I watched a segment of it.
Okay. Was it good?
It was.
Was it accurate?
It was pretty damn accurate. Yeah. South Park just they're great at everything.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, they're the longest running show on Comedy Central right now.
I believe it. I mean, I can't fact check that, but I definitely believe it. So, first things first, since you want to get right up into it.
Right up into it. Just elbow deep in this shit.
Alright, man. What do we have first? Off the top of my head.
Off the top of your head, you say it.
Red Dead Redemption. I know we're both gaming nerds.
Oh my god, well, especially when it comes to that game, you fucking no-life that shit.
Oh yeah, well I mean it helped that I was unemployed the entire time, so
Yeah.
Just straight, everyday, wake up game, school
you also
game.
acquire it unethically. I'm not going to go into the details.
Well, I mean, hey,
He
hacking is hacking. We'll leave it at that.
Hacking, yeah. Definitely hacking.
Definitely
hacking.
It was the Russians, man. I plead the fifth. It was the
Fucking
Russians. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2. What was your opinion? What was your review?
Definitely 10 out of 10. I realized that God of War stole the Game of the Year award from Red Dead Redemption 2. I never played God of War.
It was a great game.
But yeah, I mean, I've seen gameplay on it. It looked like a great game. I've never been a fan of like those, like off-camera awkward like
the third person kind
the
of
really
deals.
awkward third person. Like, you ever played Dante's Inferno?
Yeah, the old Dante's
like
Inferno for sure.
I don't know. I just don't like combat systems like that because you got like a bunch of cannon fodder enemies, and half the time you can't even see your guy. And I mean, I know he's like hacking down guys because you don't see the
exactly,
going
yeah.
down, but you don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, and the thing with the third person view is you can't always see behind you. You know what I mean? Not that you can in a first person, but in a first person you can snap around a lot quicker than you can in a third person.
Yeah.
Or at least from my experience.
Ever play any of the old Resident Evil games where you like there's an enemy right in front of you, but you can't see it because of the fucking camera angle?
Actually, no, I never played any of the old Resident Evils, but I know what you're talking about because I know I've seen
camera angles.
Yeah, well, I've seen that a lot in Like some of the newer third-person shooters, Fortnite, I've seen it's been an issue for people online. I see it's been an issue for people in PUBG too. So I get what you're talking about.
I wouldn't know that because I don't play either of those games. I don't play any battle royale shit, so I guess I'm not a cool kid.
Yeah.
But so no Black Ops 4 for me.
So storyline.
Oh, the story was phenomenal. I mean, I don't know if it was just because I enjoyed it so much, but it felt short, even though I don't think it was really short. But,
it wasn't. I think it probably would have taken you at least 27, 28 straight hours to get to 100% sync if you played straight through. But
you don't notice like how much time you're putting into it because there's so much that goes into that game. Like, you just get distracted so much.
Oh, for sure.
It's like any open world game. You're following the story mission and then you're like, ooh, shiny object.
Yeah, right?
And it goes down the rabbit hole.
You're like, ooh, random gunshot in the distance. Let's go investigate.
And then next thing you know, you're on like the complete opposite side of the map from the mission you're supposed to go to. And
somewhere along that journey of you getting sidetracked, you've lost like 3 horses. You went from normal health down to like.
Speaking of that, last
dead.
night I was getting a shower and I figured I had enough time because I had to go from one side of the map to the other, so I did that cinematic view like quote unquote fast travel thing.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I went up and got a shower. I came back down and my horse was gone. My old horse. I don't know what happened, but I died and lost my horse. I was so pissed.
Wow.
And then I still wanted my horse, so like my previous save was like, there was like a 24-hour difference between those 2 saves. And I'm like, do I really want to go back that far?
Yeah. It's the horse, man. It's
it.
the horse, man. You can't. No horse left behind. No horse left behind.
No horse left behind, man.
But yeah, for sure. I would say, in my opinion, the Missouri Foxtrotter is one of the best horses in the game from everything that I've read and my personal use.
Okay.
Good horse, doesn't get scared. Also, and a Turkmen is a good horse too. They're expensive as all hell, but it is what it is. So, there's a lot of things in that game too. That game, like you said, that game's kind of like an onion, you know what I mean? It's so layered. There's so many things that you can get yourself into. I'm kind of upset that once you get past Arthur dying, spoiler alert if you haven't played it yet.
Yeah, we should probably, like, edit that, like, at the beginning, like, right before we discuss this.
Yeah, put spoilers incoming.
I mean, I don't know how much viewership you have, but I mean...
I only had, like, 15 to 17 viewers on the last one.
I mean, that's pretty good for just... starting out, but
like... Well, that was the pilot. That's not even Arthur's, because Arthur's hasn't even been up for 24 hours yet. I posted Arthur's last night at, like, 1 in the morning.
Well,
so...
I mean, honestly, if you haven't played it yet and you haven't gotten to the end, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Yeah, right? I mean, the game has been out for a while. But I'm just upset.
I still fucking played it. I still beat it.
Yeah. Well, my thing is that I'm just kind of upset that I didn't get to 100% sync, so now I have to restart the whole game because the missions that I didn't do that would get me to 100% sync are while Arthur is still alive. You know what I mean?
You know what? You fucking lied to me. You said all the bonus missions were there.
Well, no, because the
Braithwaite chick.
That was the one that I was looking for, and I'm like, where is this? Because it's still in the mission menu.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but logically it would make sense because, that Braithwaite shit could have stayed there for the years after, because it's not like it fast-forwarded 100 years. It fast-forwarded, what, like 6 years?
4 or 5.
4 or 5, something like that? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that would be feasible, but like, my God, now I'm going to start the whole damn game over.
Did you ever find the secret at the Braithwaite Manor? The girl in the outhouse?
Yeah.
Wild. I never found it, like, while Arthur was alive. I didn't find it until spoiler alert, you play as John. I didn't find it until I played as John. And when I got there, she was dead. There's just a skeleton sitting in the fucking outhouse.
Did you see up near... Alright, did you do the missions with the old veteran dude?
Yeah. Up
in the mountains? Did you happen to stumble upon up there the haunted cabin? That has like a red underglow. You can only see it at night. It's up in that general area in the forest. It's just out in the middle of nowhere, my dude.
I did find an abandoned cabin out in the middle of nowhere, but I don't know if it's the same one.
It could be. But like, that cabin at night, it has a red pentagram underneath it that like when you walk in the house and look down, you can see like all the symbols and stuff. And then there's a red halo, or not a halo, like a green UFO hue above you. And then like I've shot at it. I've done a bunch of stuff. It doesn't do anything.
I was in there, but I was not in there at night.
Yeah.
Did you find, speaking of pentagrams, did you find the pagan ritual site where you get the cow skull mask?
Oh, I found a couple of the masks. I didn't find that one specifically,
Yeah,
but I found a couple of them.
It's up in like basically the same area as that.
As the veteran missions.
Yeah, the first veteran mission. But it's I want to say it's somewhere right around where you find the legendary deer.
Okay.
Rock.
Did you ever kill that legendary mountain goat?
Yeah.
Or not the mountain goat, the...
Yeah,
okay.
it was...
It's hard to kill, man.
Well, I mean, it wasn't that hard to kill.
Well, no, because I just used the Springfield rifle and just shot it in the dome. Because, like, I when I was watching, like, other YouTubers, content on, like, the legendary animals and stuff, like, if you don't kill it with, like, something high power, you're never going to catch it. And I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, antelope are kind of, you know, fast.
Oh, you mean the pronghorn?
Yeah, the legendary pronghorn.
The pronghorn. The pronghorn was a bitch.
Yeah, for sure.
But the alligator was definitely the most difficult. I mean, I didn't really have any issues with it.
You have no clue how many times I had to go respawn on the other side of the map just to ride up there to maybe find the clue. And it was at least 3.5 hours worth of my time before I killed that thing.
I killed it on my first try. All I did was unload, I think, like 5 express rounds from the rolling block rifle into its head.
That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, but I mean, I still killed it on my first try.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. But yeah, man, that game for me, I would say I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10. I think the only thing that I would say is the economy system's a little bit off to me. I know you and I have talked about it before.
Yeah,
is
on the online mode. I haven't played much in the online
mode. Well, not
mode,
even on the online mode, but like you and I remember you and I had a conversation about
how expensive the fucking food is for how far back in time it is.
Just
you get fucking, it's like canned kidney beans for like $1.69. I'm pretty sure you pay less than that nowadays.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like 99 cents now. But no, but what I was saying was like when you rob stagecoaches and stuff, some of the stagecoaches are only worth like $5. Like that's broken to me. Like that's worth $30 in just the timber that it's built in like, to begin with.
When you get horses and stuff, they're like, oh, we can't give you much money because you don't have any paperwork. Where the fuck are you gonna get paper? You have to like break the horse and then like bond with it and put a saddle on it to sell it to the guy for a high price.
In my experience, no, because I've caught some wild horses and took them to the horse fence and.
What kind of horses have you caught?
I caught a couple of Mustangs.
See, I got $5 for a fucking Mustang. I'm like,
yeah, I know.
Bullshit.
I got 5. Same thing.
Really?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. Because like back in the day, wild horses were at a premium. You know, because what they would do is you sell them.
How much you have to pay for them when you buy them from the fucking the horse dealer?
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, but what I'm saying is like back in the day, you know what I mean? In that time, they had to commission all that stuff to the cavalry.
Yep.
You know, because back in the day, we were still fighting Indians in, what, 18 whatever.
The engines. Well, 1890s, but...
Well, 1890s. Well, yeah, but, like, you know what I mean? But they were still commissioning all the wild horses to the cavalry. So it's like, you know what I mean? Cavalry was paying out the wazoo. You had, like, 15 good horses that you didn't need. Whoop! Just got paid! But yeah, man.
Shit.
Game's definitely a fun one, for sure.
Yeah. Alright, how far are we into this? Because, I mean, that was kind of a long discussion.
Oh, 13 minutes.
13 minutes?
Yeah.
Jesus. We might have to stretch this out to an hour.
Yeah, hey man. Like I said, I'm here as long as you are.
Yeah.
So what else do we have here?
Because we gotta crack this bad
boy. For sure.
Are we chugging? No? Yeah. Damn it.
No. I mean, you can if you want to, brother. I mean, we're alcoholics here at the end of the day. But kind of segue into our next topic.
Complete opposite end of the spectrum. I don't know how we're gonna really segue into this.
Well, no, but all right. Well, no. So the fighting in that game is, in my opinion, pretty accurate. Like anything from like fist fighting into, you know, gunfights and stuff.
No, the fist fighting is not accurate.
You don't think so?
Have you ever seen like a street fight?
In that game?
The street fight in real life. And
no. Well, what I'm saying is like if you could design your character like Max Holloway, you know what I mean, and just go in there and straight start two-piecing people like what he just did to Brian Ortega. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, Max Holloway's not a video game character. Max Holloway's real, but shout out to Max Holloway, by the way. That was a really, really interesting fight.
Yeah, even though we didn't really watch the whole thing. Kind of watched the highlights, but we know about it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, here's a question for you. Since we're both UFC guys, what's next for Max? Because, I mean, I've heard Diaz brothers are on the table. I've heard certain Irishmen that we're both a fan of is on the table. I've heard that there's a certain Ruski that has a really funny looking hat that just dominated said Irishman on the table.
Yeah, well, wait, Holloway's fighting featherweight, isn't he? And aren't they gonna have to drop weight for that?
Well, there's talk of Max going up to 155. Well, here's my thing. At the end of the day, if Max fights Khabib, Max is going to have to put on a fight like he did against Ortega. He's going to have to outstrike Khabib to the point that Khabib can't shoot for a takedown.
Good fucking luck with that.
Yeah.
I mean, Conor wasn't exactly his best in his fight against Khabib.
For sure.
But, I mean, Khabib is a top-notch wrestler. I mean, I don't even know how to describe him. I mean,
he's an alien.
He's the fucking
He's
eagle,
an alien.
Man. He's the fucking eagle.
He's an alien. He's not human. The dude was wrestling bears at, 5 years old?
I don't know how accurate that is, but...
Yeah, he was a youngin' when he was wrestling that bear in that video. Just put that out there. But, okay, so, alright, hypothetical, if you're Max Holloway's handler, and you know, the money fights are at 155, do you have Max fight, some lesser competition in 55 as a tune-up before he would go after somebody that's at the top at 155?
Yeah.
And who would you pick if you had to pick a tune-up fight for Max? Because, I mean, and the thing is 155 in the UFC, in my opinion, is one of the best, if not the best, weight classes there is right now.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Honestly, the 155 weight class provides, honestly, the most entertainment.
For sure. Well, and my thing is, too, is 155 is perfect just because at 155, you get guys that are strong enough to knock people out, but fast enough that they have that good work rate that everybody likes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's why, and not to shit on Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, but that's why heavyweight boxing has been falling off as hard as it has, you know what I mean? And as much as I love Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, and as much as I loved watching the highlights from that fight and all the, smack talk coming up to it, I still didn't want to watch that fight. You know what I mean? That fight wasn't screaming, go spend your money on that fight.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that, for me, I have to feel like I have something at stake. I mean, I don't know how you feel, but for me, it's just I want to feel invested in the fight as much as the fighters are.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, who's the guy that Derek Lewis faced? I think it was 2 fights before.
Volkan Ozdemir?
No. Wait, maybe. Why can't I think of the guy's name? Hold on, let me look it up.
Yeah. Well, and my thing is, too, is, even bringing up the, heavyweight division in the UFC, how many guys outside of, I'll say there's 3 big draws in the heavyweight division, in my opinion. And one of them's not even with the UFC. Because everybody wants to see Brock fight, everybody wants to see Stipe fight, and everybody wants to see DC fight.
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion. Derek Lewis is bordering on that number 4 spot, but at the end of the day, it's Derek Lewis, man. You're gonna know that, what you're gonna know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get somebody who's gonna come in swinging, somebody who's going to come in and try to knock you out, and there's not gonna be a lot of takedowns. It's not gonna be flashy. It's come in, swing for the fences. If I don't connect, I get gassed. Game over.
Well, I mean, Derek Lewis always finds his time to strike. It's just sometimes it takes longer than others. But his fight against Volkov, I mean, that is a perfect example right there. I mean, he was taking a fucking beating.
For sure.
And he just came out of nowhere swinging, knocked Volkov on his ass. And you could literally, in that fight, you could pinpoint the exact moment Volkov was like, I done fucked up.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I tell you what, looking at the lightweight rankings as of right now, if I'm Max Holloway's handlers and I need a fight before I want to go after either Conor, Tony, or Khabib.
I'd go after. I mean, I think you'd have to go through Tony before he gets Khabib.
For sure. But
I don't think Conor's. I don't
given the recent Nate Diaz news, I don't know if you caught this, but Diaz doesn't want to fight Dustin Poirier.
I didn't catch that. No.
Yeah, so Diaz was offered Poirier and said no. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. I mean, Poirier's ranked 3rd as a top lightweight contender at a 24-5 record with 1 no contest. You know, Max is a gifted striker. Poirier is a good all-around guy. I mean, they're both good all-around fighters. I think it would be a good step up.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Because you don't want to feed Max Holloway CM Punk. You just don't. As much as we rag on CM Punk about how bad he is, you know, mixed martial arts and everything else, he could have potential 30 years down the line. But
35.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is that you don't want to feed him a scrub and then have him get in the ring with a monster like Khabib or a monster like Tony or a monster like Conor. You know what I mean? So I think it would almost benefit him to go see a Kevin Lee, a Dustin Poirier, an Edson Barbosa. You know what I mean? Not necessarily guys that are top tier.
Start off with CM Punk and then work his not necessarily work his way, but go from him and then go to
Edson. So CM Punk, Edson Barbosa, Tony Ferguson, Conor McGregor, Khabib Nurmagomedov.
No, at this point he's gonna have to go Conor and then Tony.
Well, Conor then Tony, yeah, sure. But man, I think it would be a good move for Max to go to 155. I think it'd really spice up a lot of things. Yeah. I mean, I think him and Kevin Lee even would be a really good fight. You know, I mean, Max doesn't talk a whole hell of a lot of shit, but Kevin Lee talks shit. So I think it would definitely be interesting to say the least. You know, and I don't know, man. All the other divisions. I mean, do we really want to see? Do we really want to see Brock back? I think is the ultimate question.
Well, I mean, I think it'd be interesting to see him coming back. We saw fucking Conor's comeback, and it wasn't exactly his best comeback.
Well, I mean, then again, you know, Tito and Chuck Liddell just fought, and they were both 90. So I mean, I guess it's more of a perception thing, you know, on what you want to do as a fighter, but. Yeah. You know, well, and here's the thing, too. So, you know, with USADA and WADA always being, you know, big issues in the UFC world, do we just say all right, let's backtrack. So, with USADA and WADA being issues, would you want to see a roided up Brock and a coked out John Jones going at it? Just like two absolute
does Brock
monsters?
Really need roids? I mean,
well, I mean,
give him both some cocaine and let him fucking go at it.
Well, and that's my thing, you know what I mean? Because drug use, especially like in football and a lot of other sports, you know what I mean, where it's high impact, high damage, steroids almost kind of seem attractive. Like I could see how that would be attractive to a lot of these athletes.
But I mean, like we were discussing previously, obviously not.
Yeah, we were talking off camera for sure.
Yeah, talking about like how bodybuilding has natural and professional levels, you know.
For sure, yeah. They have the amateur and the pro circuits.
Yeah. Why not have something that's somewhat like that, you know, where we have guys who want to take steroids.
Yeah, so put the roided up monsters against roided up monsters, and then put the natural guys against the natural guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, if a natural guy has the balls to go up against a roided monster, more power to him.
Well, and I think the big keynote, especially like in the UFC here, is Mark Hunt. Mark Hunt's suit against the UFC. You know, they put Mark Hunt against every roided up monster they could get. That back when Alistair Overeem wasn't even Alistair Overeem, it was still Ubereem. You know what I mean? He was eating every piece of horse meat he could get his hands on. That man ate all the Trenbolone sandwiches he could fit.
All the Trenbolone sandwiches.
Yep, he ate everything.
This shit.
He ate all the Bradley Martin sandwiches he could get his hands on. You know what I mean? So, but I definitely I agree with you. You know what I mean? And you know, in other sports it would be a lot more difficult. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
definitely.
football is a game of purity. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's
Like
all.
I mean, hell,
It'd be difficult to do in team sports like
For sure.
bodybuilding and UFC. It's
boxing
one guy against
even.
one guy.
Yeah, boxing
You know,
even.
it's all individual.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but then that trickles down too. So if they're to do an amateur versus a professional kind of setup where, you know, amateur is, you know, allowed to use steroids, you know, professional is not.
Well, not even that. If they want to stay natural and they think they could kick a guy with who's on steroids, they think they could kick their ass.
For sure. But but here's what I'm saying.
More power to them.
Well, here's what I'm saying. So do you think that would have a serious trickle-down effect into collegiate sports? Because collegiate wrestling has produced a lot of very, very good UFC guys, you know what I mean? And even into the amateur Olympic circuit. I mean, you know what I mean? Because before those guys go into Olympic training, those guys are boxing elsewhere, you know what I mean, as amateurs. So who's to say that there's a 15-year-old boxing prodigy out there that, you know, still has his amateur or, you know, able to use steroid status and wants to go from... I mean, I don't even know what the weight classes in boxing are anymore, but wants to go from, like, super middleweight up to heavyweight and is taking 2,000 cc's of trenbolone a day. You know what I mean? Like, who's to say that that doesn't happen? Because at some point we have to keep eyes on the athletes.
Well, with the trickle-down effect, I mean, you know, there's people already taking steroids. Like, it's already trickling down. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, it's just a matter of them getting caught.
For sure. Sure.
They get caught, they get banned, you know, whatever sport they're playing, depending on...
Well, and it's even gotten to become an issue in other strength sports, not necessarily just bodybuilding. You know what I mean? I know powerlifters definitely get drug tested a lot.
Yeah.
But you know,
look at fucking Mark Bell.
I mean, yeah.
Respect to the guy. He's a strong dude.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he's been real open about his steroid usage. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, in all honesty, I think, you know, taking steroids it shows your commitment to whatever sport that you're doing, because you're putting something into your body that's really not supposed to be there. You're shutting off your testosterone producers, your testes essentially, and
well, all right. So here's my question.
It doesn't shrink your dick; it shrinks your testicles.
So here's a question that I had, and this is something that actually I'll tie this story up in a nice little bow in a minute here.
I like bows.
But
it is Christmas time.
Yeah, it is Christmas time. Happy holidays, everybody. What kind of stock do you put into a person that you know for a fact is cheating in a sport where steroids are banned? Well, so before you answer that, I want you to think about this. You know my gym. You've been to my gym. My gym we have some really good top flight athletes. Shout out Signal 5 CrossFit.
I talk a lot of shit on CrossFit, but I respect it as a sport. It is very difficult to do. I train for powerlifting and stuff like that. Going from that to CrossFit, it's like day and night.
It's a different monster.
It's definitely like it's conditioning is what it is. It's a lot of like heavy cardio based stuff with weights thrown in.
For sure.
Sure, you look like a flailing fish when you do pull-ups, but
yeah, for sure, we do the silly salmon. We do silly salmon pull-ups. Silly salmon pull-ups, people.
It's a legitimate sport, and I know a lot of people talk shit on a lot of powerlifters, strongmen. A lot of them talk shit on it. It's a sport.
Well, yeah, for sure. And my thing is too is that, you know, my gym, like I said, you've seen some of the athletes that go there. You've seen our quote-unquote wall of fame. You've seen the numbers that our guys are putting up. We have strong athletes.
Oh, yeah.
I just found out very, very recently in talking to a good friend of mine that goes to the gym with me. Her and I were having a conversation about one of the other members, and I just found out that the member that we were talking about was doing steroids. You know what I mean? And now that I know, I can tell, you know what I mean? Because, like, I just thought that the person in question was really, really strong, and, you know what I mean? Like, now that I know, it makes sense.
Well, I mean, there's some people you can't even tell. I mean, there's guys who are, you know, naturally big and naturally strong.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, take John Jones, for example. I never thought John Jones would ever got popped for steroids. He's not a freaky big human, you know what I mean? You just never would have guessed. But in this situation, you know what I mean, I lost a lot of respect for the person in question just because, you know, this person, You know.
I mean, but can you really lose respect for someone if they're not they're not claiming to be natural? You know what I mean?
Well, no, she claims to be.
Oh.
And that's the thing, because I know for a fact that she competes in a lot of local competitions in this area.
Do
they don't drug test?
They don't drug test?
No. So my thought process is like, okay, cool, well, I get it. You want to do...
When you say that she claims... Does she, like, openly say that, you know... Like, does she openly say that, or does she just kind of nonchalant about it? You know what I mean?
It depends on the day. It depends on the day. The person in question, some days she is really, you know, I'm clean, I'm just strong, and then other days she's like, well, I mean,
that's it right there.
Is what it is.
You've only texted one time.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And I mean, don't get it twisted, because like the conversation that the lady and my friend and I had, her and I were talking about said lady, and she even said, she's like, you know, when she first came into our gym, she was freaky strong. She was a gymnast. You know what I mean? So you went from a gymnast physique to now damn near looking like a dude. And like, it's crazy to me, because on top of all of that, she's a practicing family physician. So shouldn't you know better at some point? You know what I mean? Like, I understand, you know, she's still young. I think she's like 26, 27 years old. You know what I mean? And her body could probably handle.
Well, if she's a practicing, I mean...
Well, and here here was the point that I'm trying to make.
Okay.
I'm okay with people doing steroids. I don't care. I'm even okay with the point that you want to try to hide it, but now that I know, I'm always going to look at you some type of way.
Yeah.
But my issue is that you're not even good enough to get to the pinnacle of our quote-unquote sport. So what's the point in taking them? You know what I mean? Like, if you're literally taking steroids to win local competitions where the purse may only be $200 or $300,
that's not even gonna pay for your fucking tremboloni sandwich.
Exactly. That's not even gonna pay for the That's not even gonna pay for the bread on your tremboloni sandwiches, my guy. You know what I mean? But I understand. You know, like, I know you don't keep up with CrossFit, but the 2017 CrossFit Games, Ricky Garrard, a rookie Aussie, came in. Rocked everybody. Like, dude was top, I think, 4 the whole week.
Oh no, I'm almost out of beer.
I'm out of beer. I'm waiting on you, cuz.
And this whole time I was waiting on you.
Yeah, I'm slick about it. But anyway, so Ricky Garrard comes in, has a monster weekend, rookie campaign, pops for 3 different steroids. I think it was 2 or 3 different steroids.
Well,
and my thing is like, but here's the thing. In that situation, I understand, because the CrossFit Games, you got $500,000 on the line in cash, and on top of that, you get the prestige of knowing you could possibly be crowned the fittest dude on the planet.
Exactly.
And the sponsorship money on top of that, and the fame on top of that. And I don't know if you've ever been to Australia, and I know I haven't, but apparently down there, CrossFit is God. Like, they're down there, like, if they're not cheering on soccer, rugby, or hunting wallabies in the bush, they're doing the CrossFit.
Hunting wallabies in the bush?
Gotta go walk about there, bud. But hey, man, but that, like, something like that to me, just, it irks me, because, you know, it's not necessary.
Well, yeah, especially at the level that she's at. I mean, it's like...
For sure.
Like, you should wait. If you want to take steroids, you should wait until you've realized your complete genetic potential, your natural potential, before you want to, if you're like, okay, I'm not satisfied with this, I want to take it to the next level.
Exactly.
That's when you start taking them, if you want to. I mean, me personally, I don't condone steroid use, but I don't look down on people who
Keep going, you're good.
Do take it.
Did stop recording.
This is still recording.
Yeah, audio's still recording, so.
Put that in the intro. And dude, that glass clang when we time that should be part of it. That should be part of every intro.
What? Clanging the glasses together?
Clanging the glasses at the end of the music.
Oh, hey man, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Okay.
But back to steroids, like I said, it's just, for me, like, stuff like that just doesn't make sense, strictly because, you know, I understand, you know, if you're making the money to support the habit, but it doesn't seem logical to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Wait until you realize your genetic potential.
For sure. For sure.
Just, the only issue that I have with steroids is, I mean, obviously it's a big concern to your health. Vast amounts of cardiovascular problems. Obviously your testes will shrink.
You gonna crack that Jameson, or you gonna look at it?
I'm gonna look at it, dude. It's fucking beautiful.
It's a $42 bottle of Jameson. You better crack that thing while we're here.
I mean, it's okay. It's cheap. It's like mid-shelf kind of shit.
Mid-shelf?
I'd say mid-shelf. Come on.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. I mean, then again, what's a bottle of Ciroc go for? Like 60?
I don't fucking know.
Vodka's ridiculous, but.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway, like I said, so my thing is with steroids, more power to you, you know what I mean? But at some point,
don't say that you're natural if we all know damn well that you're not.
Exactly.
Do that.
You know what I mean? I would rather be lied to at that point, you know what I mean?
You'd rather be lied to at that point.
Or no, I'd rather
not be lied to.
I'd rather not be lied to at that point, I mean, yes.
Here it goes. Oh. Oh.
You gonna be okay there, big fella? Yeah, it smells good enough.
Yeah, it does. What the fuck? Who said you get the first glass, asshole?
I'm giving you the bigger pour.
Fuck do you think you are pouring? I'm pouring first.
Hey man, talk to me nice.
Because you're the host doesn't mean I have to talk to you nice.
No, it's alright.
Work together for
it's alright, man.
How long?
It's alright, man.
Yeah.
But
we should like discuss our place of work, but not name drop it, because
we're gonna name drop some shit today.
Oh my god, you better name drop it.
Oh, no, we're not we're name dropping some people today.
Oh, name dropping.
We're name dropping people today.
What if they view this? No, dude, come on, not people that I'm cool with, because that come on.
Well, it doesn't have to be people you're cool with. It can be people that I'm not cool with.
Yeah, but not people that I'm cool with that you're not cool with, because I don't give a shit what beef you have with other people.
Exactly, but that's the point. I'm gonna talk my shit. Let me talk my shit, damn it.
I can't give my insight because I have a completely different perspective. I mean, I could defend them, but that's.
Well, you know what? Just let me
change your mind. You know what? It's gonna end in a fist fight. I mean, that'd be pretty fucking entertaining. But not down here in this cramped fucking basement.
Nah, you know what? Hey, don't hate on the basement, dog. You gotta start from the bottom and work your way up.
I'm not hating on the basement. I'm just saying it's not an ideal place to have a fist fight, because look at all these potential hazards outside of two grown ass men throwing punches. You got golf clubs over there we can start whacking each other with. I might get my hand caught in that grate right there. I'm gonna swing with that.
That thing's got some weight to it too, so that would hurt.
I don't know what the fuck that thing is, but I'm probably gonna hit you with that.
Well, no. So all right. So what about work? How is work? Today was your last day. Cheers to you, by the way.
Yeah, cheers to me.
Your last day.
Oh.
Last day.
That was a horrible glass clank. There was no echo.
You want to try it again?
Yeah. There we go. Close enough. God, that's good shit.
Yeah, it actually is. So, you're done with work.
Well,
military is the next move. How does it feel, man, to finally be out of purgatory?
Different. I mean, I went through like a lot of contemplating. And I realize people aren't gonna give a shit about this because it's my personal life, but I went through a lot of contemplating what I was gonna do, going back to school or joining the military. Military was always in the back of my mind.
Go back to school.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, but you can come to classes with me, bro.
I don't want to come to classes with you.
Oh, shut up. You know I do your work for you, and you wouldn't even have to ask me.
Yeah, not that I couldn't do my work. I just
for sure. I would just. My thing is that you're the homie. You know what I mean. I would definitely help you out if you needed it, and it wouldn't even be a question. You wouldn't even have to ask 90% of the time.
Yeah, but no, I don't really need help with schoolwork. I need help with fucking motivation in school.
Yeah.
That was my biggest issue. I mean, I came from Millersville University right before fucking Amazon, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. So.
Thought we weren't name dropping.
I can name drop Millersville University.
No, where we were working.
Oh, edit that out.
You know what? No, I'll leave it in there because I don't think this is quite on Bezos's radar yet. So I think we'll be alright.
What the fuck are they gonna sue you for?
Defamation of character of the company.
I mean, it's not. It's
alright.
Okay, look.
I'll shoot my. Hold on, let me shoot my shot real quick.
I'll shoot my shot.
For sure. So. Amazon is not a bad place to work. The warehouses it's easy to work if the people around you are easy to work with.
Yes, from Liz, who went to Phil 5, she
Shout out to homegirl.
Yeah, shout out to her. We miss you.
Yeah, we do miss you. We got to go out for a beer, actually,
Yeah,
while I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, she messaged me the other night while she was drunk.
She's done that to me a couple of times. So she's like, hey, do you want to come buy me a drink? I'm like, I don't even know where you're at. And she's like, I don't either. And I'm like...
She didn't even ask me to buy her a drink. She's just like, I'm drunk. And I'm like, yeah, I wish I was too. Can I come over?
Right?
No, I didn't say that. But I mean, I did say I wish I was too. But anyway,
yeah, hey, regardless.
It's a really good place to work for, especially like if you're going to school, because I mean you're making what, like no less than $15 an hour
for sure.
And I mean at some warehouses they start you up at upwards of 16. I think like our warehouse started us off would have been starting people off at like close to 16.
Yeah, like it was like $15.50 or something to start.
And they work with you with your school schedule. I mean, you, for Christ's sake, only work like 30 hours a week. I mean, you could work as much as like only like 10 hours a week. I mean, you have to work at least 30 to keep your benefits, obviously.
For sure.
You wanted to keep your benefits, so you chose to work 30. But well,
Logan, and my biggest thing is to
Logan and Owen only worked, I think, like
once a week for like 5 hours or something like that. Yeah. Well, and like my thing is too is that for me at the end of the day, the reason I left was more stress than anything.
Oh yeah, well, I mean we all know the reason I left. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of the place. I mean, it was just,
certain members of management made it really, really hard for a lot of us to stay.
I didn't really mind the management. I thought Lance was really cool.
Lance and I, you know, it was a very give and take relationship.
He is a cool guy, but he is.
He's a pushover in my opinion.
I don't want to say he's a bad manager, but he wasn't exactly like. He didn't keep people up to date.
Exactly, and he's not very responsive when you say, "Hey, I have a problem. Can this get fixed?" He's not responsive in that facet.
Too. I mean, I don't usually complain at work, just because.
Well, I usually don't either. It took extraordinary circumstances for me to get on my rebellious streak that I was on while working. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things. You know, I mean, there's a few managers on the shift that I transferred to for a couple days because of my school schedule that were complete pushovers and that frankly have no idea what they're doing and don't deserve to be managers.
You talking about back half?
Oh yeah, we're talking about back half.
We're talking about back half.
We are talking about back half.
I love a lot of people on back half, but
managers,
good.
Not doing it.
Lord, when they run the show, do they run the show? They don't run the show.
They don't. It's one of those things that the employees walk in and give them the Captain Phillips to look at me.
I'm the captain.
I'm the captain now. But yeah, I mean, like I said, for me, 90% of the reason that I left was because of my situation, and you know, I mean, I know you and I talked about it, but for the YouTube viewership, to put it mildly,
drama.
Yeah, there was a lot of drama about surrounding me and possibly getting promoted. What it basically came down to was my former boss left. The new boss they put in place decided to.
He seemed like a cool guy, by the way.
Dave was the shit.
I talked to him a few times.
Dave was that dude.
Kind of seemed like he was.
I saw him before I quit too.
Kind of seemed like he was always hitting on Joanne though, because he was always fucking over there talking to her.
Yeah. Well, they're friends, you know what I mean. But Dave's an impartial party. Dave's big thing was he admired anybody that actually knew how to work. You know, where the person that got instilled, Joanne, she wants to keep her people. You know what I mean? Like, she wants her favorites.
Even though she just fucking lost, like, half of her favorite people.
Yeah, and she wonders why. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that it's directly her fault, but the reason she is the main reason that I left. You know what I mean? She's 90% of the reason that Liz left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, at the end of the day, you know, as managers of a company and managers of a specific building, you have to kind of look yourself in the mirror and be like, am I doing what's right for my people? Because at the end of the day, without us associates, the managers don't have anybody. Like, if all the associates just took off on one day, the company would lose it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing that bothers me about the management. The way Amazon, you know, has people who can, like, apply for, you know, management positions set up.
Mm-hmm.
There's, I think, like, multiple different options. Like, you either have to have military experience, at least 2 years of experience in the warehouse, or just a college degree.
Yeah.
Any college degree in whatever major you want to have. And you can just come in right out the street.
Forestry management. Shout out to Connor for being a bozo, by the way. The dude would literally rather talk to trees than talk to a human. The complete antisocial human. And you know what I mean? For those out there seeing this, he was that guy that like would stand in the corner of the class and like face the wall. Because like he was literally scared to interact with other human beings. It was hysterical for me to watch.
You know, when I first like met Connor, I mean, I don't know. I always thought he was kind of a dick.
Oh, he is.
I mean,
he is. And my thing is,
but like
he doesn't know how to talk to people. That's why he's. I don't think he's a dick as a person. I think his communication skills are so poor that he just always comes off as an ass.
Well, he speaks tree.
That's true. The dude speaks tree. He walks around the warehouse like I am Groot all day long.
Yeah.
Like, hey Connor, what's going on? I am Groot. Like, it's ridiculous.
No, but he goes to my gym on occasion.
The day he told me, he's like, yo, I lift, bro. I laughed in his face so hard. Sorry to cut you off, but that was just my God, it was awesome.
No offense, he's kind of a weak bitch,
yeah, but he's kind of a little skinny fella. Skinny fella. He's put a little muscle on that frame there, cuzzy.
Yeah, but I just don't agree with like people who have no warehouse experience. With the exception of Devin. Devin was actually a really good manager.
She had a college degree. That was why.
Yeah, she had a college degree. But what was her major?
Business economics. I believe.
That's why. That's fucking why. If you have like a business major.
Yeah. If you have something mildly related to...
But if you have something like fucking...
Forestry...
Forestry...
is what Connor's degree was in.
I mean, I wouldn't say Connor's a terrible manager. I mean,
well, yeah, he's not terrible, but I mean, my God. I mean, I've seen monkeys at the zoo that communicate better.
Yeah, but I mean, like... who's a good example
of
a poor manager that just came in because they had a college degree? Pretty sure we had one, didn't we?
I mean, in my opinion, we've had a couple.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Liz was good.
Liz was good because she had a great ass. Are you kidding me?
Liz, if you're out there, hit me up. Hit me up, please. I'm still willing to take you to dinner.
I'd say that, I'd probably get slapped by her if she saw this, but I'm probably never going to see that chick again.
For sure? She has
for fucking sure.
Fattest ass, bro. And the thing is she's wifey material, bro. That ass. Like, I think I'd date her for a year, get engaged, be engaged for a year, and then marry her. Just to make sure that, because, like, I'm 97% sure I can marry her right now. Exactly.
I had the most awkward first conversation with her.
So did I, and it was great.
Yeah, but no. Mine was like, I was talking to fucking... Travis, our learning guy, because he was actually in the Navy, but he was only in for like 2 weeks, and I think he got medically discharged.
Makes sense.
But yeah, we were talking about it, and I'm like, yeah, I go to MEPS on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And she just turned around, like, just butted into the conversation. Like, you do what on Wednesday? I'm like,
you do what?
Who the fuck are you? I'm like, okay. I didn't actually say who the fuck are you, but I was thinking it.
No, don't lie. No. Ladies and gentlemen, don't let this man lie to you. This man looked at her and was like, all right, how the hell can I get these digits real quick?
I wasn't
Think of something real fast. It's like, come on, Conscience, help me the fuck out here. Don't get a boner. Come on, help me out here.
Okay, that was like one of the things that went through my mind. But the first thing that went through my mind is like, you fucking just butted into my conversation.
Exactly.
And then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just, I'm joining the Navy and I'm going through MEPS and stuff. And she's like, oh cool, high five. I'm like, okay.
Well, no, the first
like, who butts into a conversation and says, okay, high five?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's
well, and the thing is that her and I actually know a bunch of the same people, which is so weird. You know what I mean? Like, and I still talk to Tyler and stuff, and I like can't get her number. I think she's just a
flirt though, because I caught her staring at me a few times.
Oh.
I hate to burst your fucking bubble, man.
Dog, if she's a flirt, I'm fitting to tame that horse, bro. We will Red Dead Redemption 2 tame that pony.
Red Dead Redemption double team, motherfucker. RDR DT. What are we ending it there?
Fire! I love it! Gotta hit the red dead on it.
Fuck, man.
But yeah, hey, bro, this is the most fun you probably had in a little bit. So let's talk about it.
It's definitely not the most. Well, no, okay, yeah, it's the most fun I've had in a little bit.
Thank you. Give me my props. Give me my props.
Well, the second most fun I've had in like a month.
Yeah.
The first was skipping work the other night and going out drinking with my buddies and
Facts.
Walking through the city drunk at fucking 3:30 in the morning. That was fun.
Perfect. But yeah, man. I mean,
anyway,
I'm glad you're out of there, man. Honestly, just because at the end of the day, and this will kind of segue us into our last little segment here into the SOS. I feel like so many young people are pressured to make money more than they value other things, you know what I mean? And like it took me working at Amazon and me going through my bullshit situation with Joanne and such about probably about a year in, I realized that at some point I was gonna have to go back to school just because like I knew that because So to give a little backstory, Joanne has a really, really bad habit of sleeping with all the young men that are.
I was the one man that was not claimed by that because
for sure.
I was in a relationship.
Myself included too. Both of us were excluded from that.
But the difference between you and I is I don't hold a grudge against her, even though.
Well, no,
it's partially my fault that my relationship got ruined. It just happened to involve her.
Yeah, well, but. Such is life. But anyway, so the reason that she kind of drove me out was because, like I said, she came in after my old boss Dave left.
I feel like we're getting just like completely off topic and we're talking about our own drama as opposed to like actually talking about.
I'm gonna bring this full circle.
No, we can't bring this full circle because we have a whole other thing to discuss about how the business is run.
True. But anyway, I'm gonna bring this full circle anyway.
Yeah, but we gotta discuss like. Because the people don't give a shit about our bullshit drama. I mean, we've just been drowning on for like the past 15 minutes about our fucking bullshit drama at work. I mean, who gives a shit about that? No one wants to hear that.
That's true. I'll give you that.
But, I mean, I think we should talk about the pros and cons of working at Amazon. The pros and cons
but that's
of
how I'm going to tie it back in. So for me, like I said, at some point, it just...
A lot of drama, that's one of the cons.
Yeah, it got way too much, and I realized I had to go back to school. And the other thing is, too, is that you can work as hard as you want. It's just how... people perceive you more than anything, you know what I mean? Like, you have to be on a lot of people's good side, and you have to play the political game, so to speak, you know what I mean? And I'm not the greatest politicker in the world, you know what I mean? I get along with people that get along with me. I'm very easygoing in that sense.
He doesn't like to suck dick.
Right.
He's not a dick sucker.
Facts. But the thing is,
let
me finish. Let me get this off.
He is what is known as a power bottom.
What is that?
Google it. Google that shit.
Okay, but anyway, so like I said, after some time and some real reflection and talks with my family, I just realized I had to go back to school, and I noticed that people tend to waste away at dead end jobs, you know what I mean, especially a lot of young guys, just because they feel that they need money, and I'm here to tell you flat out that it's not about money. I would rather be broke and happy than have, enough money to go out on the weekends and be so tired and stressed out that I can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the problem with working, especially like nowadays, like I shouldn't say like nowadays, but like if you're working at Amazon or any kind of retail, like over the winter, during Christmas season and all that, should we just keep talking?
Yeah, keep talking.
Alright.
It shut off.
Yeah, that's the beep that I heard. I was going to say something, but whatever. Oh, wait.
Oh, that's why. Battery's dead. Alright, well, we can just talk. I'll just put it and I'll just edit some stuff.
Okay, so you're just going to...
I have a thing that I can do for camera issues.
That's fine.
So.
Where was I? Oh, yeah.
Amazon retail over the winter.
Yeah, over the winter, like during Christmas season and all that, it's just, you're working 60 hours a week, and I mean, to some people that might not seem like much, but I mean, if you want to have like a social life and spend time with your friends and family over the holidays,
it's not the move.
It's not the move. Like, definitely not. It's partially why I wanted to get out of there, because I'm obviously going into the Navy, as I previously discussed. I mean, I didn't really bring it up too much. I think I brought it up like once in this whole discussion. But
not everything's about you, man.
I don't know everything's about me, but I just want to make sure people are on board with.
Yeah, for sure. So Austin's going in the service. If you haven't picked that up.
Yeah. Corman.
Corman
Hartman.
Corman Hartman.
Or if that's not available, intelligence, which
Ooh.
I qualify for.
Wait, don't you have to be intelligent to get into intelligence?
Not necessarily.
So anyway, enough with me roasting you. Well, keep going.
Anyway, that's kind of why I got out of there, because I wanted to spend time with my friends and family. Because my ship date's going to be right after the holidays. Because I'm going to MEPS on Wednesday, and that's when I get my ship date, and I'm shipping out as soon as I can.
For sure.
And I want to spend time with my friends and family. One last hoorah before, hoo-yah.
Yeah. I mean, and you'll definitely be missed. I mean, at least from, our close group of friends that all know each other, you know what I mean? You're definitely going to be missed.
Well, just like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Terminator, I'll be back.
Yeah, right? I like it. So, alright, man. The only segment, the only rule that I have is you have to give your SOS. If you watch the first episode.
We're doing the SOS now? I thought we were gonna. I figured me talking about the Navy would be a perfect segue into our next topic, but I mean it's kind of a short topic and more like a moral standpoint. Like,
well, you can tie it into your SOS.
If you want to tie it into
you can tie it into your SOS. So what is your SOS? What is your state of society and how Austin J. Hartman sees society as a whole right now? Go.
These goddamn kids fucking up everything. Fucking bullshit, man. You mean keep going?
Keep going. Tell me what else you do.
No, I'm just rambling right now.
Keep rambling. This is content.
This is content.
This is content.
No, I mean I don't really know what to think of our society as a whole. I mean, I kind of like to bounce back and forth with you on this, but, like, I don't know, it just seems like everything's becoming more and more about instant gratification, and it's turning our society into just obese drones. I mean, as much as I sound like a conspiracy theorist there, it's fucking true. I mean, like, for Christ's sake, Amazon, going back to, the way they run their business and everything, I mean, there's some warehouses that, like, produce, like, they, like, have your groceries and shit, so you can literally go grocery shopping all online and have it delivered to you. I mean, I don't know about perishables and stuff, like milk and shit. You might still have to go to the store for that. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I don't know if they have, like, special refrigerated trucks or anything like that, but...
They will. If they don't now, they will. They will.
And more to the point, bouncing back to Amazon, I'm kind of getting off topic here. I'm pretty sure we talked about this. Amazon is going to get into the arms dealing business at some point. That's the only direction they can go in at this point. They got groceries. They got literally everything else. You're going to be able to start. You're going to be able contracting next.
Yeah, for
Jeff
sure.
Bezos, if you are listening to this,
I'm volunteering.
Fucking do it, man.
I'm volunteering.
I'll jump back in a warehouse if I get to handle tank parts and ammunition and shit. Fucking A right.
To hell with that, bro. Let me go to the R&D department and test fire some of the tank parts and stuff that Jeff Bezos is gonna get himself into.
Tanks in the battle with the Amazon logo on them.
And they'll probably put it out. They'll probably like spray paint it. You remember how like World War II they spray painted ladies on the planes? Yeah. They're gonna spray paint the Amazon logo on tank rounds.
They'll put it on like the fucking like bombs and shit too.
Yeah.
Fucking see a bomb dropping from the fucking
with the smiley face.
Smiley face. Ages ago.
Yo, that would be awesome.
That would be pretty cool. But seriously, Jeff, if you're listening to this, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. You can rehire me. My 90 days is almost up. No, I mean
your 90 days
I'm like
is almost
40
up.
days. 40 days into my 90 days.
90 days.
Yeah, 90 days before I could possibly get rehired.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I filled out my resignation paperwork. So my thing is like I'm not against going back, but I won't go back to that building.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But anyway, to continue your SOS.
My SOS, my state on society.
Well, all right. So I'll kind of segue you back into this. I do agree with you that society has become lacking in a lot of
way too reliant on technology. I mean,
Well, what I'm going to
I look at my phone every 5 fucking seconds, but at least you and I
we're a lot more
active.
cognizant about it.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, my thing is that I literally had this conversation with a girl that I go to school with today, actually, when I dropped off my English final paper. Society is lacking in a lot of major key thing. Well, can't really think of the word that I want to use here. But we're lacking in a lot of major key things. Like we're lacking in work ethic.
We're lacking in just discipline.
Yeah, we're lacking in discipline. We're lacking in work ethic. We're lacking in self-reliance. We're lacking in responsibility. And it's not just our generation either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's become very systemic.
It's progressive. I mean, you look over the years, each generation is becoming more and more reliant on technology, less and less, self-reliant and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, honestly, that's kind of why I like to play Red Dead Redemption 2, because it's like...
You have to be self-reliant.
Yeah. I mean, sure, it's a video game, but, I mean, regardless, like, it's...
It kind of puts you in that mindset that, like, okay, if I have to go kill a deer, could I go kill a deer?
You have to manage literally fucking everything.
For sure. And I think one thing is that life, as we know it now, and as much as I don't want to sound very morbid in saying this, life could end tomorrow. Well, there's no reason that Russia or somebody else, North Korea, China, could start a nuclear war, and then what happens when your cell phone goes down? What are you gonna do? Like, are you willing to pick up a gun and go fight?
Anarchy.
Yeah,
fucking anarchy.
You know what I mean? Well, in anarchy, in a situation like that, in anarchy, only the truly mentally, not even necessarily physically, but only the truly mentally prepared will survive. And that's why, like, even at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I don't happen to have any of my firearms here at the house.
Did you sell them all?
Yeah. Well, I sold 2 of them.
Oh.
The rest of them are still in Ohio. But anyway, I still...
Can I have one drink? What the fuck, man?
Well, hey, you want to pour me another one? You can pour me another one there, bartender.
Fucking no, I want to save it for my birthday because I'm a cheap motherfucker.
Hey, man. Props to you. You want some Jack?
Do you really want another drink though? Because I will pour you some Jameson. I was just fucking with you.
No. Do you want some Jack? Because this is mine. You don't have to spend no. You want some?
It's up to you. I don't really care.
No, I don't care either. I want to make sure you're good to drive home.
Just pour me a little bit. I'm not driving home. I'm driving 13 minutes. I said a little bit, you asshole.
That is a little bit. It's a little bit for you and me. I mean, we forget we've drank together. That is a little bit for you and me. But, you know what I mean? Like I said, so when shit hits the fan, which shit will inevitably hit the fan, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The world will not stay at peace forever, unfortunately.
No.
Only the truly mentally strong will survive.
And that's the thing. I mean, regardless of how it looks on the TV, behind closed doors, us and Russia, we're at each other's throats.
For sure.
We have knives to each other's throats right now.
Oh, yeah.
And all it takes is one of us to slip up and...
Well, and my thought process is at the end of the day, you know what I mean, our country is perceived as soft and has been perceived as soft. But here's my counterintuitive argument to that.
Standards are a joke.
Well, all right, but here
especially, I mean, everyone but the Marine Corps.
For sure.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna go off on a ramble about that.
But that's why I'm stopping you. But what I want to see is, and you can probably at some level relate to this, is our generation, unlike every other generation, has had a war to their name. You know what I mean?
Hold on.
And I said this.
It's not really a war. I mean, it's quote unquote war on terror, but it's more a war against an idea system than it is an actual nation.
For sure. Well, but here's what I'm saying. So, and I said this against Arthur. I said that this in my podcast with Arthur.
By the way, you're a good boy.
Arthur made the comment that our nation was soft, and I said, yeah, and you know, every other generation has had their war, but at the end of the day, you have to be willing to take care of yourself first. And I think our country in the last, say, 10 years has fought a lot of battles that really haven't been talked about a lot, i.e. like mental health, i.e. racism still in this country, i.e. women's rights in this country.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? We're fighting more of a battle.
All of that way out of proportion, though.
Yes and no. You know what I mean? Racism, you can't argue black kids getting shot in the street by white cops. You can't argue that, in my opinion. You can't.
But that's the thing. I mean, that's just, I hate to say it, but that's part of life. I mean, racism is, and this is something that a lot of people don't understand. You can't kill an idea system. You cannot.
For sure. Because at some point, system. we can expose
racism
people.
Is an idea system.
For sure.
You cannot kill that. It's gonna happen.
We can expose everyone to every kind of race, creed, religion, gender, and there's still gonna be issues.
Yeah.
You know, even if there was a pill that says, you know what, we're not going to allow, if there was a pill you could take that says you will no longer have any racial biases, you will no longer have any gender biases, no more religious biases, no more biases, period, toward people, you'll still not like people.
I feel like
for
I'm
something
not
else.
talking close enough in the mic, because I've been talking back here, right here. I've been like
talking, I can still
talking at like different angles from this mic, and you're like right here, like really close to the fucking mic. Like you may as well just be fucking making out with the mic.
No,
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just happened to look.
You're good. You're good. I'm just because you want to try to have a consistent wavelength on here. You know what I mean? So, and I talk a lot louder than you, so I can get really close or really far away.
Well, yeah, I've been keeping my voice the same volume, so.
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is that it's one of those things that, you know what I mean, we're fighting a lot of battles here at home, and I think that we have to get ourselves right as a country before we deal with, you know, everybody else's bullshit. And I think about it like it's the same like a relationship, you know what I mean? You're not going to get into a relationship with a woman.
Exactly.
If you're, you know, living in a, you know, your mom's basement, you're broke, you don't have a job, you don't have a car, you're not going to be like, "Oh, hey, babe."
But you see, the problem with that is like, if anyone sees that we're, I mean a lot of people see that we're relatively weak as a country, but if we focus our resources on fixing ourselves, another country could take advantage of that. If we then we won't have any resources to focus on, say.
Explain yourself, please.
Explain myself.
Well, yeah. So, what do you mean another country can take advantage of us taking care of ourselves?
Well,
you know, if we become a self-sufficient country, we won't need another country to help us out. We won't need foreign oil. We won't need, you know what I mean, this, that, and the third.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in some form of combat, going to war.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you, man. I love a good AR, but an AK is where it's at. Those Ruskies know how to make some guns, man.
Do. You can beat the fuck out of those things and they still work.
Yep.
But no, like, and that's the problem with. I'm not saying like don't focus on the home front, but I mean focusing on the home front definitely helps with, you know, focusing on everything else as a whole.
Well, yeah,
everything. But if we're focusing too much on the home front, we focus all of our resources on the home front, and nothing about, you know, preventing people from invading this country. We're screwed. I mean, they catch us at a weak time. We're screwed.
No, I agree. I mean, but my thing is that, and this is one thing I've preached to you and I preach to so many people, is balance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If we're 80% out there and 20% back here, let's flip it. Let's go 60% here, 40% out there.
Yeah. Agreed.
You know what I mean? Because even that 40% increase of taking care of the home front, that's 40% more thing. Yeah, that's 40% more things that can get done. That's 40% less Trayvon Martin killings. That's 40% less Ferguson incidents. You know what I mean? That's 40% less, you know, California wildfires. You know what I mean? Like, we got to take care of ourselves before we're good enough to take care of other people. And I understand, you know what I mean? People say America has never really been great. I disagree. But I think that our country has the potential to be great if we just simply balance some things. You know what I mean? At every once in a while, you have to be cognizant as a human being and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm tripping. Because there's not always going to be some...
can't even fucking balance their checkbook. And you want them to balance the country as a whole?
Well, that's where it starts. It starts with education. It starts with You know what I mean? Getting mental health screening done early.
Yeah, but it's a matter of if people want to get educated. I mean, there's people that don't give a shit about their education.
Well, then that's fine, my man.
That's the issue.
That's fine. I have
the issue.
Well, and I think they don't want to get educated because the education system, in my opinion, is broken.
Oh yeah, it's been broken for a while.
Yeah, standardized testing never taught me a damn thing. The ACT taught me nothing other than how to study for the ACT.
Yep, I agree.
The ASVAB is probably the same thing. Like, you didn't actually learn anything other than...
I didn't fucking study a fucking thing for that test.
I'm sure you didn't. Shout out his recruiter, by the way.
It's my recruiter. Petty Officer Kyle Reese. He's a great guy. I like talking to him.
I mean, I don't know if you know, I was actually considering going in the military for a while.
I kind of figured.
Yeah. I actually, Army, when I did my ASVAB, I got an 81.
Got an 88, bitch. Suck a cock.
Well, no, but because my oldest brother was, in the service, so. Yeah, it makes sense, but. Alright, brother, you want to wrap this up?
Yeah, I guess we can wrap this up.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 2 with the Austin J. Harmon, a.k.a. The Alien, a.k.a. one of the best people I know, a.k.a. Mr. a.k.a. Mr. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Mr. A.K.